Okay, now, sure. A very good afternoon, good evening to one and all present here. I am M. Kavita. I am working as a research intern for Wilma Communication, and I am pursuing my PhD in antenna design at Hindustan University. I am being here to present to discuss about losses in microchips. Before discussing about losses in microchips, let me discuss some basic transmission lines used at microwave frequencies. First slide. Different types of transmission line used in microwave frequencies. The different transmission lines used in microwave frequencies are coaxial line, waveguide, strip line, microstrip line. So in microstrip line, we have the different types and different configurations. These are parallel microstrip lines, coplanar microstrip lines, and shielded microstrip lines. So I just give you the small discussion about the different types of transmission lines used at microwave frequencies, so that we can get that better idea in understanding of microstrips and that's the losses in the microstrip. Okay. First, coaxial cable. So coaxial cable is nothing but it is a type of transmission line used at microwave frequencies, and it consists of two conductors. One is inner conductor and another one is outer conductor. The two conductors having the common axis, that's why it is called as coaxial cable. And this inner conductor is surrounded by the outer conductor, so that it provides a that is shielding. So it provides a external EM radiation, and this coaxial cable is used in radio frequency, the transmission of radio frequency signals. And the applications of coaxial lines are it is used in telephone trunk lines, broadband internet networking cable, connecting transmitters and receivers of antenna, and high-speed computer data bus. These are some applications of coaxial cable. And next type of transmission line is used in microwave frequency is waveguide. Waveguide is nothing but the open structure. It is a closed structure transmission line. It is in the form of rectangular or cylindrical form, and it is used in microwave communication and broadcasting and radar installation. It is used to guide the EM waves, and the signal is introduced into the waveguide and retrieved from the waveguide by means of coupling. The loss in the waveguide is less compared to the coaxial cable. So these are the some basics of some basic concept of coaxial line and waveguides. The next type of transmission line is strip line. So this strip line is a basis for microstrip line. So that's why I am explaining this strip line. The strip line is nothing but it is a planar transmission line. Planar transmission line is nothing but it is a PCB transmission line. The microwave devices and the networks are built in PCB, that is printed circuit board. So connecting these devices needs a PCB transmission line. So the PCB transmission line is nothing but we are using the strip line as a PCB transmission line. So that is planar transmission line. So it has a symmetrical structure. That is, the metal strip is placed between the sandwich between the two ground planes. So it has a symmetrical structure. So the mode occurs in the strip lines are TEM mode, that is transverse electromagnetic mode, TEM mode. This is some basic concepts of basics of strip line. You can see the structure of the strip line. That is, we will be having the inner conductor. That is called as a metal strip, and it is placed between the two ground planes. So it has a symmetrical structure, and this is the basic transmission line using planar transmission line. That is, in PCB transmission, this is a basic type strip line. And the advantages of strip line is the loss in the strip line is less compared to the microstrip line. and the fabrication and this connection of the strip line is more difficult, and it can be easily analyzed, and these are the advantages of strip lines. So this strip line is basic for the micro strip line. So we are going to discuss about the losses present in the micro strip line. So micro strip line is nothing but this is also the strip line, but the only difference is the metal strip is not sandwiched between the ground plane. The metal strip is placed in the substrate at the top of the ground plane. So it is not a symmetrical structure, and this is also one of the most commonly used planar transmission line, that is PCB transmission line. And the losses in the microstrip line is higher than the strip line, because this substrate is, the metal strip is placed on the surface of the ground plane. So it is more exposure to the external interferences. So the losses will be high in the microstrip line. The mode supported by the microstrip line is TEM mode. That is quasi TEM mode is a special case of TEM mode is quasi TEM mode. I will explain what is meant by quasi TEM mode. Quasi TEM mode is nothing but the TEM mode, but it has the external additional component, longitudinal component of electric field and the magnetic field. So how does it happen? So in microstrips, we'll be having the metal conductor on the surface of the ground plane. So here, when the electromagnetic wave traveling through the microstrip, it has to travel on the dielectric substrate as well as the air. So it has to travel on the both the substrate. The dielectric constant of the two substrate will be different. So it has to take the different wave velocity in the two media. So it travels in the inhomogeneous medium. So due to the traveling propagation in the inhomogeneous medium, there will be the additional electric and the magnetic field component, that is longitudinal component of the electric and the magnetic field will be present. This is very small, so it can be neglected. So this mode is called as a quasi-TEM mode. So quasi-TEM mode is nothing but similar. So quasi-TEM mode is nothing but it is similar to the TEM mode, but only one difference is due to the propagation of wave in the different substrate, dielectric medium and the air, there will be the additional longitudinal component of the electric and the magnetic field is present, and it is very small. It is very small only, so that can be neglected for the analysis. And this mode is called as the quasi-TEM mode. So the only difference of microstrip lines with the strip line is in the construction, we'll be having the metal strip on the top of the surface in the microstrip line, and it is the loss in the microstrip lines will be more, and it is not a symmetrical structure. It supports a quasi-TEM mode. So due to the propagation of electromagnetic wave in the two different mediums, that is substrate and the air, we'll be getting the additional component, electric field or magnetic field component. So this mode is called as a quasi-TEM mode. And these are all about some basics of microstrips. And using this microstrip, we can build microstrip filters, couplers, and power dividers. And these devices can be built as a pattern of metallization on the substrate. And this microstrip line can be used in MMICs and high-speed digital PCB design, and many microwave applications. Okay. And the advantages of microstrip is it is much less expensive than waveguide, as well as it's less weight. And disadvantages means it has more loss compared to the waveguide and other strip lines. These are the disadvantages of the microstrip line. Okay, so these are the basic concepts of the 4 different types of transmission lines which are used in microwave frequencies: coaxial cable, waveguide structures, and strip lines and microstrip lines. The strip lines and microstrip lines are more or less same, but the position or placement of strip only different from microstrip line and the strip line. And next slide. I just give you some comparison of the different types of transmission lines used at the microwave structure. And in the comparison table itself, we can say that the loss in the strip line, microstrip line is high. And then designing the microstrip lines, we can build the filters and dividers and couplers by means of microstrip lines. So when we are designing the filters and the couplers, we need to consider the design parameters, and that is characteristic impedance and effective dielectric constant. And characteristic impedance formula is H by W and root of U by epsilon, and H is height of the that is substrate, W is a width, and this is the design equation, characteristic impedance of the microstrip line. Next slide. And effective reflection coefficient, effective dielectric constant equation for the microstrip liner as given by this equation. We need to consider these two equations when we are designing the microstrip line. We have considered the two, we need to consider the two cases, W by H is less than 1 and W by H is greater than 1. These conditions can be taken depends upon the application. And next slide. Losses in microstrip. So this is the topic that I am going to discuss about now. So we know that by means of microstrip lines, we can design the filters, couplers, and dividers, power dividers. When we are designing the microstrip line, we need to consider the loss produced in the microstrip line. So there are different types of losses present in microstrip line. The types of losses are return loss, reflection loss, insertion loss, and the leakage loss. Now the three important loss occurs in the microstrip lines is insertion loss. So insertion loss means we know that when we are inserting something on a transmission line, we will be getting some loss that is called as insertion loss. So in microstrip, we will be placing that metal strips and substrate, everything on the, that is, we will be placing the substrate on the ground plane. So we will be getting that, we'll be getting some losses due to the insertion of conductor and the dielectric. So we can classify the loss. That is, the three important loss present in the microstrip is conductor loss, dielectric loss, and radiation loss. These are the three important loss occurs in the microstrip line. This amount of this loss is due to the due to some characteristics. That is due to the conductivity of the conductor and the dielectric constant of the material and radiation frequency. So it depends upon the different these parameters, that is properties of conductor material and properties of the dielectric material used and the operating frequency. Based on this, the loss will be differ. First, we'll discuss the loss one by one. First type of loss occurs in microstrip line is conductor loss. This conductor loss occurs in the microstrip due to many reasons. So three important factors that influence the conductor loss is conductivity of the material, and second factor is skin effect, and third factor is surface toughness. So these are the three factors which influences the conductor loss in the microstrip. So let me tell the two things about one by one. First, conductivity of the material. So we know that the strip is placed on the substrate is a conductor strip. So each conductor has a finite conductive value. So it has the ability that there is a flow of current flow at the outer surface of the conductor. This current density decreases exponentially to the bulk of the conductor. So this is the nature of the conductor. So due to the flow of current due to the bulk of the conductor, there will be the increase in resistance value. So due to that, we will be getting some losses, and also this called as the conductor losses. And also this conductor loss is merged with a skin effect. So skin effect is nothing but at the higher frequencies, there will be the flow of current at the outer surface of the conductor. So this is the skin effect, and also we'll be having the depends upon the characteristics of the conductor. We'll be having the conductor loss. So these both losses overall increases the resistivity of the conductor. So there will be some loss produced. So this loss is called as the conductor loss. So based on the two characteristics, conductivity of the material as well as the skin effect, there will be the loss will be present in the microstrip. That's all about the first two factors. And the third factor is surface roughness. The surface roughness is how does this surface roughness make a loss in microstrip means. During the fabrication of the metal strip, we'll be having the bumps or cracks on the metal surface. So that will produce an uneven surface on the metal. Go to the next slide. That will produce the uneven surface of the metal. So this uneven surface will increase the resistivity of the conductor. So it increases the current path. This also produces some loss in the conductor. So in order to overcome this loss produced by the roughness of the substrate, we need to use a smooth surface. So analysis has been done between the substrate with a smooth surface and substrate with a rough surface. The research shows that the substrate with a smooth surface will produce a less loss than the surface with the uneven surface. So we need to give attention in the fabrication, and we should have the smooth surface, a surface metal when we are using for this microstrip line fabrication. And so this diagram in ohmic law here, this is a representation of this diagram. We'll be having the current path, length of the current path increases. So due to the skin effect and the conductivity of the material. So due to this conductivity and the skin effect, you will be having the increase in resistance. Due to the increase in resistance, you will be getting the increase in loss in the conductor. And third factor, already I said, we need to use a smooth surfaced metal to reduce the loss. And this is the second factor. It's all about the conductor losses. So the conductor losses is nothing but the loss present in the conductor. There are the three factors which influences the loss in the conductor. The three factors are conductivity of the material and the skin effect and smooth surface, that is surface roughness. The first two factors are interrelated with each other, that is conductivity and the skin effect. Due to the on its own conductivity of the material as well as the skin effect, the resistance of the conductor material is increases. So there will be the loss, it increases the current. So due to that, the current path length is increased. So you will be getting some loss. That loss is called as conductor loss. To reduce the conductor loss, we need to use a conductor thickness should be greater than the 5 to 6 times greater than the skin depth, and also we can reduce this conductor loss by minimize the amount of metal flanked to the dielectric. That is, we have to flanking means the surface facing to the dielectric. So we have to minimize amount of metal flanked to the dielectric, and we can use the thickness of the conductor should be 4 to 5 times greater than the skin effect. So by using these two methods, we can reduce the loss produced by the conductivity and the skin effect. And the third, smooth surface, and we can use a smooth surface in the metal so that we can reduce the loss due to the we can reduce the conductor loss in the microstrips. That's all about conductor loss. And the next type of loss is dielectric loss. Next type of loss present in the microstrip is dielectric loss. And so dielectric loss means the loss occur in the dielectric substrate of the microstrip is called as dielectric loss. And this loss is due to the dissipation of electromagnetic energy. Let me explain how this dissipation of electromagnetic energy into the substrate. We know that the dielectric medium is a medium which does not have any free electrons, right? So it has a bond of molecules, and it can move. It can move to the other place when the electric field is applied. So this applied electric field makes the charges to move, and it causes a polarization with respect to the electric field. So polarization means we know that it also creates a somehow electric field, right? So due to the polarization, the charge particle or moves from or taking the movement from one place to the another place. So it causes the additional electric field. So this additional electric field, due to this, we'll be getting some losses. This loss is called as the dielectric loss. So the amount of polarization in the dielectric medium is depends upon the dipole, that is the molecular symmetry in the dipole, which is called as dipole moment. That is, we'll be getting the polarization due to the application of external electric field to the dielectric substrate. So the amount of polarization depends upon the molecular symmetry of the insulator, which is called as dipole moment. So this effect of dipole moment in dielectric is called as loss tangent. So this loss tangent is a measure of dielectric loss in a dielectric medium. So if the loss tangent is high, then the dielectric loss will be high. The loss tangent is low, the dielectric loss will be low. So there are two factors which causes the dielectric loss in the microstrip line. So what are the two factors means? As I said earlier, certain conductivity of the substrate. This leads to the electric current density sigma. This current is in phase with the applied voltage, which causes the which is modeled by the formula sigma by W that we will see in the formula of the dielectric loss. And the second factor is the loss is due to the damping of vibrating dipole moment. So these are the two factors which causes the dielectric loss in the microstrips. So next slide. The formula for the dielectric loss is given by the formula. Here we can see that the loss tangent, that is tan del, that is nothing but the effect of dipole moment in the electric field is called as a loss tangent, that is represented by tan del. So dielectric loss means the loss in the dielectric medium is called as dielectric loss. So how this dielectric loss happens means due to the dissipation of electromagnetic energy into the substrate. How the dissipation of electromagnetic energy in the substrate means when you are applying the voltage, the bond and the molecules are started to move, so it causes a polarization. This polarization depends upon the molecular symmetry of the insulator. So this effect is called, the effect of dipole moment is called as a loss tangent. So this loss tangent determines the amount of dielectric loss in the dielectric material. Okay, and depends upon the application, we need to choose a dielectric substrate with appropriate dielectric constant value. And it's all about the dielectric losses. And next slide. The third type of losses which occurs in the microstrip line is radiation loss. So radiation loss, we know that this is a loss which occurs at the higher frequency range. So it occurs in broadband high frequency RF and millimeter wave applications. And this loss tells that how much energy is lost from the circuit to the surrounding environment, and also how much energy is radiated from the transmission line. So radiation loss, from the radiation loss we can find how much energy, how much power is radiated, how much energy is lost. So from the formula, the radiation loss is given by power radiated by power transmitter. So this radiation loss will be high at the higher frequencies, and it depends upon the following factors: frequency, effective dielectric constant, circuit thickness and impedance transitions, and signal launch. So these are the different factors that affects that causes the radiation loss. So mainly the radiation loss depends upon the circuit design and the type of circuit configuration. And if you are taking the strip line, the radiation loss will be low. If you are taking the microstrip line, the radiation loss will be high than the microstrip lines. And next slide. And this is the formula, that is, as I said, it depends upon the different parameters, and the radiation loss is given by the power radiated by the power transmitter, and it is also depends on frequency, dielectric constant, and many things. And if the dielectric substrate having the high dielectric constant, then the radiation loss will be less, and if the dielectric constant is low, the radiation constant will be high. These are all about that is basic things of the losses occurs in the microstrip line. So there are the three types of losses: conductor loss, and dielectric loss, and radiation loss. Conductor loss means we have seen that three factors that influences the conductor loss: first, conductivity and skin effect, and substrate roughness. And these three factors which influences the conductor loss in the microstrip line. And dielectric loss is due to the movement of, when the electric field is applied, due to the movement of charged particles, that will be the polarization occurs. This polarization causes the dissipation of energy. So due to that, you will be getting some loss. That is called as a dielectric loss. And third type of loss is radiation loss. So radiation loss will occur at higher frequencies. It depends upon the frequency and dielectric constant, and dielectric constant, circuit configurations, and many things. And next slide is Q factor. That is, Q factor is nothing but quality factor. So it is a measure of loss in the microstrip lines. So quality factor means if it is high, then obvious the circuit is well designed. So it has minimum loss, that is low loss. If the quality factor is low, and obvious, that will be the possibility of more losses. And the quality, when you are calculating the quality factor, we need to consider all the losses into the consideration. That is quality factor due to the conductor loss, as well as quality factor considering the dielectric loss, as well as quality factor considering the radiation loss. Next slide. And just give you the quality factor formula for the microstrip lines. That is, we need to consider, we have the separate formula for QC, that is when we are considering the conductor loss, and QD when we are considering the dielectric loss. Similarly, we need to consider the quality factor with radiation loss. All the things we need to combine together, then only we can calculate the quality factor of the microstrip lines. So these are the things we need to consider when you are designing the network by using the microstrip lines. The losses, we should main three important types of losses are conductor loss, dielectric loss, and radiation losses. And what can be done to minimize the loss? So this microstrip lines is used effectively up to 60 gigahertz, effectively up on the lower frequency of microwave frequencies, up to 60 gigahertz we can use this microstrip lines. Beyond this frequency, this microstrip lines applications are restricted. So since due to the presence of number of losses, more losses in the microstrip lines, so what shall we do? Means we can use that other configurations of microstrips. We can use a double layer or multi-layer configuration to reduce the loss occurs in the microstrips, and to improve the gain, and also to enhance the bandwidth. So we can use the other configurations of microstrip lines to reduce the loss occurs in the microstrips. So that's all about the discussion about the loss in microstrip lines. I just summarize the things what we have discussed. So first, initially we have different types of transmission lines at microwave frequencies: coaxial cable, waveguides, and strip lines and microstrip lines. And strip lines and the microstrip lines are similar in structure, only the changes. It is symmetrical structure strip lines, and the microstrip lines is not symmetrical. And the loss in the strip line is less, and microstrip line is high. And using this micro strip lines, and the mode supported by the strip lines and the micro strip liners. Strip line supports a TEM mode, and micro strip line supports the quasi TEM mode. Quasi TEM mode is nothing but it is similar to TEM mode, but we'll be having the extra additional electric and the magnetic longitudinal component of electric field and the magnetic field, that is called as quasi TEM mode. And in microstrips, we'll be having the number of losses. So in that, we'll be considering the insertion loss. The insertion loss, we'll be considering only 3 types of losses are dominantly present in microstrip: conductive loss, dielectric loss, and the radiation loss. So we have discussed about few things about the conductor loss, how to reduce this, and dielectric loss. And next one is radiation loss. So when we are designing the filter or power dividers or couplers by using the microstrips, we need to take into the account of different types of losses, and we can design this filter depends upon the based on the applications. That's all. Thank you.
Ma'am, can you hear my voice?
Hello.
Yeah, ma'am. Could you explain once again conductor loss?
Yes, sir. The loss occurs in the conductor is called as conductor loss, sir. So there are the several factors which influence the conductor loss in the conductor. The factors are conductivity of the material, and that is each conductor has its own conductor value. So in the conductor having the finite conductivity, there will be the possibility of current flow at the surface, outer surface of the conductor, and it is decreasing towards the bulk towards the conductor. It increases the resistivity, and due to this, we will be having some losses. This loss is called as conductor loss, as well as the second factor, that is skin effect. Skin effect is nothing but at higher frequencies, the current flow at the outer surface of the conductor, and it is exponentially decaying to 1 by E of its maximum value. That is called the skin effect. So it is also increases the resistivity of the metal. Due to that, also we'll be getting the loss. This loss is called as conductor. And also due to the uneven surface of the material, will be the resistivity value will be get increased. So due to that, also we'll be getting the loss. By combining all the factors, it causes the overall reduce the signal level strength. So it is called as loss. Hello.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, once again, another one questions. What is the difference between insertion loss and reflection loss?
So reflection loss occurs when the line is not perfectly terminated. That is, under mismatched condition, we'll be getting the reflection loss due to the reflected waves. And insertion loss means when we are inserting something in the path of the line, transmission line, we'll be getting some loss due to the insertion of some devices. So this loss is called as insertion loss. Hello.
Yeah, ma'am. Which loss can produce the cross polarization, ma'am?
Cross. I think reflection loss. I'm not sure about it, sir. Let me see to it and tell you, sir. Hello.
Thanks, ma'am. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thanks for all to participate this such a wonderful things. I'm really thank to all one and all presence here. This event certificate will be issued by coming 5th June via mail. So once again, thanks to you all. Thank you.